everyone, welcome to my channel Dr. Deepa Dahake's NEET Biology, and I am Dr. Deepa Dahake, Director at Biozone Classes, coming here to prepare you all for your upcoming NEET examination with my ongoing crash course series for NEET 2020. So in regular sessions I am going with 3 questions for the test quiz, as well as some topic and lectures I am preparing for specially for you students. So go through the entire video. Whatever questions मैं आप लोगों से पूछ रही हूँ उनके आंसर्स दीजिए. So at least आपके जो doubts and queries हैं वो clear होते जाएंगे. And slowly 3 questions करते करते a number of questions are prepared with you. So with the beginning of session, first I provide you the answers of last session's quiz, and then we will continue with our session. 3 questions मैंने आप लोगों से last time क्विज में पूछे थे, एंड आंसर्स फॉर दीज 3 क्वेश्चंस. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर है आपका, द आंसर इज द नंबर ऑफ एनुअल रिंग, सेकेंड आंसर इज गैसियस एक्सचेंज, एंड थर्ड आंसर इज द मेडुलरी रेज. एंड नाउ वी कम टुवर्ड्स द टुडेज क्विज. सो अगेन आई एम गोइंग टू आस्क द 3 क्वेश्चंस, और एक्सपेक्ट करती हूँ कि इनके आंसर्स आप प्रोवाइड करेंगे. सो आई ऑल्सो टेक रोल पॉजिटिवली फॉर बूस्ट अप योर प्रिपरेशन and upgrade you more and more for the NEET upcoming exams. So for today, first question is closed vascular bundles lack. First option is A, ground tissue, B, conjunctive tissue, C, cambium, and D, pith. Second question is water containing cavities in vascular bundles are found in A option sunflower, B, maize, C, cycas, and D, pinus. Question third is 4 radial vascular bundles are found in. Options are A, dicot root, B, monocot root, C, dicot stem, and D, monocot stem. And now we begins with most important chapter for your NEET exams, that the class 12th unit 7, and the chapter is principles of inheritance and variation. From last year in NEET 2019, from this unit total 14 questions are asked. That means the 56 marks weightage for last year NEET exams are given for this unit. So first we prepared this unit. Again I am saying कि if you have any doubts तो आप you feel free और पूछ सकते हैं आप मुझसे, because this is one of the most important topic. टाइम है अभी आपके पास. So slowly you prepare very well and boost up your preparation. It begins with principles of inheritance and variation. In this session we basically study about what are the important terms, what work made by Mendel in the field of genetics, as well as we study about the one gene inheritance or monohybrid cross. So first when we study about the principles of inheritance and variation, so first here the important some terms are there. So first we study about what is genetics. When we study about the genetics, so you remember the branch of science which deals with the study of inheritance as well as the process of heredity, that branch of science particularly called as genetics. So basically in genetics you remember we mainly deals with the process of heredity and the patterns of inheritance. When we study about genetics, so here you remember the Gregor John Mendel is called as father of genetics. So here you remember Gregor John Mendel is called as father of genetics, and most of the experiment made by Mendel is performed on the garden pea. The time period you remember, because in previous year NEET exams the time period is asked for the objective questions. So time period when the Gregor Mendel performed his experiment, that time period you remember, for 7 years he continuously performed his experiment, and the time period is from 1856 to 1863. So from 1856 to 1863 John Mendel performed his experiment. And basically you remember the plant on which Mendel performed his experiment, that plant is commonly called garden pea. Scientifically you remember the plant is Pisum sativum, and the plant is belonging to the family Fabaceae. Secondly, one more important thing you remember for the objective exam, that the chromosome number. So chromosome number in pea plant, garden pea plant or Pisum sativum, you remember diploid chromosome number is 14. So this thing you additionally remember, the plant belongs to Fabaceae family having a diploid chromosome number. Scientifically it is called as Pisum sativum. So now first we see why Mendel select the Pisum sativum. The important feature for the Pisum sativum that Mendel select this plant, the first you remember, the first feature is that the plant produces the bisexual flower on monoecious flowers. So bisexual flowers are present, and because of the presence of bisexual flowers, self-pollination as well as cross-pollination is possible. And one thing again you remember, Mendel in his experiment utilizes the hybridization experiment. So instead of self-pollination, he pays stress on the cross-pollination and cross-fertilization. So first reason that why Mendel select the pea plant, that you remember the flowers are bisexual. The second feature you remember, important feature, that the plant pea plant, garden pea plant show the variety of contrasting trait. Now what do we understand by the contrasting trait? The traits which are present in opposite pair. Suppose if the height of plant is tall, so another species is showing the same character but the opposite trait, that is a plant showing the short height or dwarfness is there. So contrasting traits are there. And another important feature that we study, that you remember that the Mendel select the pea plant because of the presence of pure lines. So pure lines are present in pea plant, and for objective, for upcoming NEET exams, you remember the large number of pure lines are present in pea plant. Out of that, how many pure lines are selected by the Mendel? So Mendel, you remember the 14 pure lines are selected by Mendel for his experiment. So either you remember 7 pair of pure lines or 14 pure lines selected by Mendel. Pure line means when particular character we select and go for a continuous self-pollination. So there is no mixing of the character or variation is not appear. So even after generation you remember, generation after generation, the characters remain as it is in its pure form, then it is called as the pure line. So these are the three major reasons behind that, behind the selection of garden pea by the Mendel. In addition to these features, you remember the plant can be grown in any kind of environment, no specific nutrients are required. So for that purpose, you remember the Mendel select this plant. Now next we study what are the 7 contrasting features, how many characters selected by Mendel. So Mendel, you remember, Mendel select the 7 contrasting trait for his study. So contrasting, 7 contrasting trait, or simple terms you can use the character also. So 7 contrasting traits selected by Mendel. These 7 contrasting traits, you remember, mainly associate with height of stem, that either the height of the stem is tall or dwarf. The second characters are associate with flower. The few characters, or basically 2 characters, are associate with fruit, and the next is associate with seeds. So this thing you remember, one character, a single character, height of the stem, a single character is associate, and rest of you remember flower. When we study the character flower when selected by Mendel, so first we study the position of flower and then we study the color of flower. Similarly, when we study the fruit or pods, so fruits again you remember the fruits, here we study the color of fruit as well as we study the shape of fruit. Similarly, when we study about the seeds, So in seed also is selected two characters, the color of the seed and the shape of the seed. So these are the four part of the plant. How many? 7 contrasting traits are related with how many part of the plant. So you remember the 4 major part of the plant which are showing these 7 contrasting character, and these plant parts are stem, flower, fruit and seed. So now we study the comparatively, or what are these characters. Now contrasting characters ka meaning I think you know all of it is clear to all that the characters when present in the dominant and recessive, or one is a dominant trait and another same for a same feature, the recessive trait is also present, then the trait is called as contrasting trait. When we study about the contrasting trait, so some terms we use: homozygous, heterozygous, genes, dominant genes, recessive genes, genotype, phenotype. All these terms slowly we study, as these we used in our subjective explanation. So here you remember the contrasting traits when we study. So here you remember the traits or character, and secondly the traits are dominant as well as they are recessive in character. When first we study the height of the stem or height of the plant. So height of stem, you remember the dominant feature is tall and recessive feature is dwarf. The second trait and third trait we study for the flower. So here first we study position of flower, and then the third again we study related with the flower. So position of flower, dominant position of the flower is axial, and the recessive position, you remember the recessive position of the flower is called as terminal. So this thing you remember, axial flowers are dominant over the terminal flower, and then we study about the third character, but it is a second character for the flower. So when color we appear, so color you remember the purple or violet color flowers are dominant. So purple or violet, any word you remember over the white flower. So simple terms you can remember. The colorless flowers are dominant over, the colorful flowers are dominant over the colorless flowers. So this part you remember. Now the fourth character which we are selected for the fruit or pods, we see in even in case of pea also. So here he used the shape of pod or shape of fruit, you can remember. Fruit in case of pea is called as pod or legume आप study कर रहे हैं. So shape of fruit, inflated pods are dominant over constricted pods. The fifth character again is selected for the fruit itself, that is the color of fruits or pods. So color of fruit when we study, so here you remember this is one of the most confusing trait for the seed as well as for the fruit. So fruit color, green color is dominant over the yellow, and when we study about the seed, so shape of seed you remember, shape of seeds when we consider, so round shape of the seed is dominant over wrinkled feature, and the seventh is the color of seed. Okay, so color of seed you remember, the yellow color of seed is dominant over the green color. So I think most of you know this chart, that what are the 7 contrasting characters are studied by Mendel. But for objective purpose, in what way you recall this chart? How many characters or how many traits are related with flower out of 7? So with flower only 2 traits are related, that is position and color. How many traits are related with the colors? So how many traits? Here you see color of flower, color of fruit and color of seed. So with color total 3 traits are related, that the color of flower, color of fruit and color of seed. The how many traits selected by Mendel for the shape of the particular plant. So when we study about the shape, so for shape he selected the 2 traits, the shape of the fruit and shape of the seed. So that part you remember, in this way you revise this table, because throughout year, throughout sessions आपने क्या study किया है? You mainly study about what are the 7 contrasting characters selected by Mendel. You mug up entire chart, but you are not going in this way कि how many characters are related with color, how many characters are related with shape, the character which is associated with the height of the stem. So only single character which is used for the explaining stem, that is selected, that is the height of stem. Now here we use two terms, dominant and recessive. So what does it stand? Dominant means generally that character which is expressed in fourth generation or F1 generation, or you remember the character which can be expressed even in presence of recessive gene, that character is called as dominant. Whereas recessive characters are generally expressed in second and third generation, and secondly recessive gene always be expressed in homozygous condition. That means when the dominant gene is completely absent, in that condition or in that state only we appear the expression of recessive gene. So this part you remember. So dominant gene expressed in homozygous as well as heterozygous condition. But whenever we appear the expression of recessive gene, it is always be expressed in homozygous condition. This thing you keep in mind. Secondly, when we express the dominant and recessive trait in writing practices, so during that time you remember the first capital letter dominant alphabet, dominant feature and dominant feature, the first alphabet is represented as a capital alphabet for dominant, and the same alphabet but in small letters आप explain करते हैं, express करते हैं for the recessive. So if we go for the tall and dwarf, so in this case commonly the dominant trait for tall is capital T, and for dwarf it is small t. Similarly, if you appear the shapes of seeds, so capital R and small r express wrinkled, capital Y express the yellow color of seed, and small y express the green color of seed. So this part you remember. So this all basically about the Mendel's, that why Mendel select tea plant and what are the 7 contrasting traits selected by Mendel's. Homozygous and heterozygous, the second important term we use here. So what does the homozygous and heterozygous means? So homozygous means when the entire genes either completely dominant or completely recessive. So homozygous trait means you remember plant, suppose the plant is tall and producing yellow seeds with round shape. When we select this character, so here you remember the homozygous means all the dominant genes are there, capital T, capital Y, capital R. When all they are dominant, so the progeny, here you remember the progeny is dominant, and this dominant progeny is predominantly homozygous in nature. The second dominant trait आप appear कर सकते हैं. In this case also small t, small y and small r. That is the plant show the dwarf stem with green and wrinkled seeds. So this is also the character, but this character is completely recessive. So this thing you remember, the recessive and dominant both may be show the homozygous condition. Homozygous means when all the genes of the trait are particularly either dominant or recessive. When we come towards the heterozygous condition, so heterozygous means you remember when two contrasting genes, one dominant and one recessive, capital T, capital R, capital Y, small y. This condition is available. This condition here you remember for each and every trait. Both the genes are present. One capital T is dominant and small t is recessive. So when both the traits or both the genes are present with together in a combination, that trait is called as a condition of the genes is called as heterozygous. And in heterozygous, whenever the genotype is heterozygous, you remember genotype, whenever heterozygous, the phenotype of the plant or individual is always be dominant. So what is genotype? Genotype means the combination of gene or set of gene. So this is the set of gene which responsible for tallness of the plant and roundness and yellow color of the seed. So this phenotype we appear in the form of physical appearance, but for those phenotype, whatever traits are responsible, those traits you remember, those genes are called present in heterozygous condition or homozygous. So here you remember these homozygous and heterozygous are basically what? They are the two forms of genotypes. So genotype means genetic combination or genetic constitution of the trait, and because of that the genotype appear homozygous when all the genes are similar, either dominant or recessive, and when there is a mixing of genes that both dominant and recessive genes are together present, then it is called as heterozygous condition. So this thing you remember. Now again one thing important is there, here you appear the dominant trait. The dominant trait is expressed in heterozygous as well as homozygous condition, but recessive trait you remember, a recessive trait or recessive character is only expressed in case of the homozygous pure conditions. The recessive feature, whenever we study about the recessive is always be pure because it only explain in homozygous conditions. So this part you remember. Now one again important term we use, that term is called as alleles. So alleles आप कब observe कर सकते हैं? The allelic condition we can observe only in the heterozygous genotype, and alleles means you remember for a particular trait contrasting genes in pair. So contrasting genes in a pair or pair of contrasting gene, or you can again another definition you can remember, the alternate forms of genes. So alternate forms of gene also you remember is called as alleles. Suppose when we use the capital T and small t, so genetically both the genes are show the allelic forms. One is dominant and another is recessive. The genotype is heterozygous in condition. And third you remember, the most important is phenotype. Phenotype is tall. That is the phenotype for such conditions or allelic form, it always be dominant. So whenever genes are expressed its allelic form, in allelic form genes are showing the phenotype of the dominant trait. So this terminology purpose के लिए आप ये part थोड़ा याद रखिएगा. And now we come towards the inheritance pattern. So how does the inheritance is govern in Mendel's analysis? So here we study about the monohybrid cross, or commonly it is called as one gene inheritance. So when we study about a one gene inheritance, commonly it is provided, but when we study about a one gene inheritance, so mainly आप किसको study करते हैं? We mainly deals with monohybrid cross. Two types of crosses we study here. Monohybrid in this chapter, monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. So monohybrid cross or single gene inheritance. What is monohybrid cross? Monohybrid cross means you simply remember cross or hybridization. Cross actually scientifically stand for hybridization. So when cross made between single contrasting trait, this thing you remember, when a cross made between a single contrasting trait, then the cross is called as monohybrid cross. So hybridization we only made for a single character, that either the height of stem, position of flower, any character you can select. Normally we explain this chart with the example of height of the stem. So first you clear about this. Secondly, when we go for a F2 generation, so F2 generation some ratios we observe there. So in F2 generation, two types of ratio we observe. The one is ratio is phenotypic ratio, that when we perform the experiment, so what kind of plants are produces. So one is phenotypic ratio and the second is genotypic ratio. So phenotypic ratio you generally remember, in case of monohybrid cross, the phenotypic ratio is 3:1. The three plants or three progeny show the dominant trait, and 1 is a recessive trait. Whereas when we come towards the genotypic ratio, so here you remember 1:2:1, or if you go through the NCERT, so here you express this ratio as a 1/4, 1/2 and 1/4. Now this 1/2 means originally it is 2/4, but 2/4 when we calculated, so half of the progeny, so 1/2. So this ratio you remember, originally this ratio is expressed as 1:2:1, but when we go for a binomial expression of the genotypic ratio, so during binomial expression we express the ratio in this way. So this also you remember for your upcoming NEET exam, that 1/4, 1/2 and 1/4 is a ratio of genotypic ratio, okay, for the F2 generation. This part you remember. Now we perform the monohybrid cross. In that cross, for example, we select the tall plant with a dwarf plant. So here the tall and dwarf plant we selected. The capital T is genotype for the tall and small t. Now the parents undergoes in the formation of gametes. Only for explanation purpose we show here a single gamete, and now these gametes are entered in the process of hybridization. So upon hybridization, one new generation is formed. So here you remember it is parent generation. This is gametic generation, and this is called as first filial generation or F1 generation. F1 generation you remember, it is always show the mixed features of both the parents. That's why commonly it is called as F1 hybrid. Now when we go for a selfing phenomena for the F2 generation, so in selfing the two types of gametes are produced, and these two types of gametes you remember when undergoes in fertilization. So here you remember the ratio we obtain, specific kind of ratio we obtain. The method to express the F2 generation in this way is called as Punnett square. Clear hai? So Rosnell-Punnett provide this method for the explanation of over development of the F2 generation's progeny. Here towards this side we show the male gamete, and towards this we show the female gamete when the hybridization is take place. Upon hybridization, the four progenies are produced. Out of these four progeny, capital T, only one progeny, and it is tall. Capital T, small t, genotypically they are two progenies. Again phenotype wise they are tall. Heterozygous tall they are, and one progeny is small t, that is a dwarf. So if you appear the phenotype, so phenotype, the out of four progeny, three progenies are appear tall and one progeny is appear only dwarf. So for that purpose we explain here the phenotypic ratio is 3:1, whereas genotypic ratio 1 is homozygous tall, 2 are heterozygous tall, and small t you remember that is a recessive homozygous recessive, that we explain as a dwarf progeny. So this you remember for the monohybrid cross. Now to know the F1 hybrid, genotype of F1 hybrid, Mendel go towards the test cross. So now we study about the test cross. So what is test cross? Test cross you remember, one thing you remember for the test cross, whenever we want to study the genotype of F1 hybrid, so to know the genotype of unknown F1 hybrid, whenever this question asks, the genotype of unknown F1 hybrid is identified by. So genotype of unknown F1 hybrid you remember, we always recognized by the test cross. So here we go for the test cross. When we perform the test cross for monohybrid cross, so generally we obtain 1:1, and the test cross for dihybrid cross gives the ratio of 1:1:1:1. So these ratio you remember, In monohybrid cross, the test cross ratio is 1:1, and in dihybrid case, the test cross ratio is 1:1:1:1. What is test cross? Test cross, you remember, a crossing between F1 hybrid and homozygous recessive parent. So whenever we made a cross in between F1 hybrid and homozygous recessive parent, then we perform the test cross. Test cross, actually you remember, test cross is a type of back cross. In back cross, we can cross F1 hybrid with any of the parent, but with a purpose. What is the purpose of test cross? Test cross का main purpose याद रखिए, to know the unknown genotype of this F1 hybrid, whether this F1 hybrid is dominant because of homozygous nature or because of the heterozygous nature that we obtain. So to know the unknown genotype of the F1 hybrid, we go for the test cross. If you go through the NCERT for test cross, Mendel experiment is again performing there, and in that experiment, the experiment is made for the white flower and purple flower. So here you remember कि whenever we perform the test cross, so test cross in simple terms, you remember the recessive plant, recessive flower, recessive trait is here small w, that is colorless flower or white flower, and the F1 hybrid that we obtain, that F1 hybrid is a purple flower. This purple flower is of unknown genotype because we are not knowing the genotype of this purple flower, that is the F1 hybrid. Suppose we assume that the purple flower show the genotype of, किस टाइप का genotype show कर रहे हैं? Suppose this purple flower is because of capital W, or the purple flower is because of capital W, small w. That means this purple flower, you remember, this purple flower is homozygous dominant and here it is heterozygous dominant. In this case, we again cross with a white flower. One chart is provided, you go through that chart. So white recessive trait is a white flower. So here again we made a Punnett square for this. So capital W, small w, small w, small w. Out of 4 progeny, 50:50, or you can say 1:1. That is, the 50% progeny produces purple flower and the 50% progeny produces white flower. Okay, so when this kind of genotype is obtained, it shows the F1 hybrid, unknown genotype of the F1 hybrid is heterozygous, whereas in this case, when we perform the hybridization experiment in this case, so in this case you remember we obtain 100% dominant trait. The 2 gametes are produced by white flower and 2 gametes produced by purple homozygous flower, but in F2 generation or upon test cross, 100% result is obtained. This 100% flowers are purple flowers. So if we obtain, go for a test cross, and upon test cross, if you obtain 100% result with any of the trait or purple flower, for example, so it shows the homozygous F1 hybrid. And most in all the test cross, whatever experimented, in all test cross, you remember the F1 hybrid represent as a F1 hybrid represent as heterozygous because it always show the 1:1. So this is the homozygous F1 hybrid. It may be possible, clear, but every time because the F1 hybrid is formed by the mixing of 2 parent traits, so F1 hybrid upon test cross, you remember, show the 1:1. So this thing you remember, what are the ratios for test cross, why we perform the test cross, and how does the test cross is performed by the Mendel for the white flower and purple flower. So for this session I explain up to the monohybrid cross and test cross. In next session we come towards the inheritance of the 2 gene inheritance, that is dihybrid cross, as well as we study about the law of inheritance with the specific exceptions. Okay, by that time आप लोग चैनल के साथ कनेक्ट रहिए. इन केस अगर कहीं डाउट्स हैं, क्वेरीज हैं आपको एनी किसी भी टॉपिक में, नॉट ओनली इन दिस टॉपिक, एनी अनदर टॉपिक जो आप अपने लेवल पे सेल्फ स्टडी कर रहे हैं, तो इन दैट टॉपिक ऑल्सो अगर आपको कहीं भी डाउट्स है, so you feel free to ask those doubts. So write all those queries and doubts in comment box. And secondly, जो students आज connect हुए हैं मेरे साथ, so they go through my previous videos also. और अगर आपको लग रहा है कि कमेंट आपको जो मटेरियल है वो क्वालिटी मटेरियल मिल रहा है, कुछ डाउट्स आपके क्लियर हो रहे हैं, in that case you subscribe my channel, like my videos and stay motivated and